Nikki and Rachel from the Stitch Sisters, and we're back with another in our series of videos all about fabrics. All the fabrics we're going to show you are from Minerva, who have kindly sponsored our videos, and we're doing silks now.
Silk.
Oh,
yes.
very
Now,
excited.
I didn't even realise until they sent us these fabrics that silk is my favourite. It is now my favourite.
You haven't been able to afford it until
I haven't
now.
able to afford it, but I think if you ever spend any time at stroking silks, you will know why they are considered the most luxurious type of fabric.
Yes.
Mostly associated with evening wear and bridal wear. Silks can be used in every day. And what we're going to show you today is some very accessible, reasonably affordable silks that you can use in your dressmaking.
Yes.
Obviously, silks are a much more delicate fabric, so you usually can't wash them. Often they require hand washing. You often can't dry clean them either unless you make clear to them that it's silk. And that does mean that for an everyday wardrobe, they do tend to be used less and less. But as something special, a very special evening dress or a very special top to go out in, it's just going to feel lovely against your skin, and it's going to make you feel like you've made something exceptional. Nice. So I think it's nice to treat yourself every now and then, and I'm not going to be able to resist after looking at all of these lovely fabrics. So silk originated from the Far East. It's always been very popular in China, and some of the oldest silks are thought to have been found in China, but also it's been popular in the Middle East and in lots of other Eastern countries. So what we're going to do is we're going to start working through, we've got 5 examples to show you here from Minerva, and we're going to show you the different weights. There are a lot more types of silk than the 5 that we're showing you. It's just that obviously you will find a restricted number of them available at various different dressmaking suppliers, because it's just not used as widely by the home dressmaker as some other fabrics. So some of we'll list at the end some other fabrics that you might want to Google or that you could possibly look out for.
Yes.
But if you haven't watched it yet, our first video in the series, which introduces you to different fabric terminology, we did an example of lightweight fabrics that have either body or drape, and that was with chiffon and organza, and that's the first 2 that we're going to show you here, but this time we're showing you the silk equivalent. Yes. So do you want to show us the chiffon?
So this is the chiffon, and you can see just how beautiful and drapey and
lovely,
soft to the touch this is. It is absolutely gorgeous. Now, a few of the fabrics that we're going to show you, because we contacted Minerva before the new year, so back at the end of 2017, we got some fabrics from them then which are no longer available, because we think that what they do is they get ex-designer ranges.
They do. A lot of the silks that they've supplied us with and that we've seen on their website are Armani or Prada.
Yes. So when it's gone, it's gone. So you'll just have to search for yourself and find your own.
They have a silk category on their website.
Yes.
So if you search for silks, you will find a whole range of whatever has come in recently. But you better be quick because they won't have it for long.
So chiffon means rag in French, I'm just reading. And it's made from pure silk. And it's very light, very drapey. What would you normally make out of something like this?
Well, chiffon's very popular for skirts, but also it's very good for overlays. So if you wanted to make a chiffon blouse, for instance, then you would probably put a lining fabric underneath it. Because clearly you wouldn't want to wear it on its own.
No.
So it's really great for creating drama with lots of layers. So you could have an underdress and then an overdress in a chiffon, and you could do the same with a skirt or a blouse.
Or a blouse, yeah.
So a nice pussy bow blouse would be nice that you might wear a vest top underneath. But because it is expensive, if you just wanted to treat yourself to a nice little scarf, what Minerva have sent us here is 1/3 of a metre, and I think that would make the perfect scarf. Oh, that's lovely. I'm not taking it off. It's just so nice. So this one, let me just find the price for Nikki. Oh, we can't find the price for this one.
That's what we said. This is one of the ones that's gone, unfortunately.
Yeah. Most of the silks on their website are going to be somewhere between around £18 to £60 a metre.
Yeah.
So 60, you're talking about bridal satin. You're talking silk. You're talking about charmeuse, which is not something that we're going to cover in this video.
No.
Because the only ones they supply are bridal colours. They do a cream and they do like an ivory and a white. So charmeuse is at the top end, and so this one I would imagine is probably going to be around £20-25 a metre or something similar. But like we said, if you have a look and see what they've got available now, then
they'll have a new range in from when we did it.
This here is the silk organza. Now, in addition to being used as overlays on evening wear, then this is brilliant for underskirts. It's got so much body that if you were trying to create a lot of drama with an underskirt, then this is what you might do it with. Unlike the polyester organza that we showed you, this one has a very matte finish. The other one was quite shiny, had quite a sheen on it, whereas this is very matte. And it just has so much body that I could just stand it up there by itself.
Yeah.
It's just standing there.
No hands.
That is why in couture dressmaking, it's often used as an interfacing. It's often used to stabilise seams, to create structure in small areas of like collars and things, but also to reinforce pockets and that sort of thing. So treating yourself to a small amount of silk organza so that you can interface your projects in a more couture way is a nice thing to treat yourself to. I have some specifically for that.
She's never told me that.
Yes, I do. I have a peachy colour because that was whatever was cheapest. And you're not going to see it most of the time anyway. But it's also great for creating very elaborate designs. So often it's used for ruffles and rosettes and things to put. Isn't that beautiful there? So there's a designer dress there.
Gorgeous.
Needs a little bit more work.
Yes.
But to create nice big designs on shoulders, big bows and bouffants and bustles.
Is it? No, this might be an odd question. Is it used on hats and things like that as well?
Yeah, it can be. What you're thinking of more is probably buckram, which is something that you use to stabilise the inside of a hat. But if you wanted to adorn it,
I'm thinking
then
like
yes, absolutely.
Fascinators, big bows, and that
it'd
kind
be great
of thing.
for that sort of thing.
Because it's got so much volume.
Absolutely. So this particular one is $29.99 a metre. So obviously, if you were just using it for a skirt under layer, then you might want to use a slightly cheaper alternative because that would be very expensive to have a big poofy underskirt. But if money is no object and you're making a very fancy gown, then go for it.
But I like the idea of buying a metre, spending £30 buying a metre and using it in the inside of all your garments for extra structure.
Yeah, exactly.
It would make
just a bit of extra special.
Make just the simplest thing feel so special. It would be great.
Exactly.
Feel like you're doing a proper job.
Yes, so that's organza.
Excellent.
Now we're going to move on to this here is a silk crepe. So crepe fabric, which we'll explain more in the synthetics video, but crepe fabric has a lovely matte texture, almost pebbly texture. This particular one, because it's silk, actually has a slight sheen on the face side, on the front, whereas the back is much more matte. But it feels lovely. It's kind of crisp. It has a slightly crisp hand, but it's also very soft and silky. And this would be beautiful for blouses and dresses. You can just see how lovely and fluid.
It is gorgeous.
It just feels very, very luxurious.
It's quite a vibrant fabric as well. It feels, I think, because of the luxury elements, because you've got that slight sheen, and because the colours really pop on it as well. And I'm not just meaning this one. I think the luxury, you can tell that this is a quality fabric.
Yes,
it feels,
absolutely.
and it looks like a quality fabric.
Yes. I don't think it's going to be that difficult to sew, because even though it is very luxurious and soft, it doesn't feel as fluid as some synthetics that I've used. So I think that it would sew up really nicely. And I think that it would create nice, almost day dresses, but that are just a little bit special. A lot of the prints that you get it in are very suited to more sort of day dress type designs. But I think it's a bit of luxury, but without going crazy. Now, again, we don't know exactly how much this one is, but we do know that they've got some silk crepes on their website. They're as little as $14.99 a metre. So, like I say, it's very accessible and very affordable. And this one will undoubtedly be ex-designer. I don't know which designer,
it's beautiful.
But it is going to be ex-designer. So that is crepe.
Lovely.
Now let me pass you here.
Which one is this?
This one is a Duchess Satin, or Skin of Silk is what it was originally called.
Look at that.
So you might have noticed on that first video, we talked about the weave. So what this is it's a silk, but it has been sewn with, or woven with, a satin weave. And that is what gives it this lovely luxurious sheen on it. But unlike some satin
I'll show
silks,
you the back as well. So the back you can see is much more matte in comparison with the front. Okay.
it just feels beautiful, doesn't it? Really, really lovely.
Gorgeous.
And unlike some satin silks, this one is very, very drapey. It's not crisp at all. It just feels completely soft. And unlike the one that we just showed you before, the silk crepe, this one I think would actually be quite difficult to handle when you're sewing. I think it would move a lot. I think it's one that you would definitely need to cut flat on a board with a rotary cutter and pattern weights as opposed to scissors.
A million pattern weights. That's what you need.
It could even be one of those that you need to cut between two sheets of paper to stop it from moving around too much, so that it ends up being the size that you wanted it to be.
It would be so worth it.
It would be,
my
undoubtedly.
gosh.
Yeah. I just think any dress pattern, shirt pattern,
the bottine,
blouse
the
pattern,
which I've made out of satin, would be
sew
gorgeous
up beautifully in it. Would just be that little bit extra special.
Yeah, gorgeous.
And
there's
then,
no price on that one. That's one we've not got a price on.
No, we don't have a price on that one either, I'm afraid. And then
priceless.
It's priceless. Yes. The final one that we've got here that we wanted to show you, because it's a crisper version of a silk. This is called a Dupion. And
gorgeous
you hear?
Colour again. Yeah.
You hear how crisp that is. So this is the sort of thing that you would probably associate with bridesmaids' dresses.
Yes.
And
evening wear.
Evening wear, yes. So this is actually very reasonably priced. This one is $18.99 a metre. Comes in a range of colours. It has, if I hold it very close to the camera, you can probably see these slight slubs in it. You can see lumps of slightly thicker clumps of silk in there, which is common for Duchess Satin to have that slubby effect. You can get some without, but that is very common. You also often get it woven in two different colours. So that's how you get those iridescent designs, because the front is one colour and the back is the other, and as it moves you get slight different colours. This is very similar to taffeta, which is another fabric that we haven't got to show you. Taffetas is usually a slightly cheaper version, but yes, that's another one that's traditionally made from silk, and is woven in a very similar way, has a very similar hand, and very similar properties, so that's another one to look out for.
It's got a good amount of structure in it as well, hasn't it? Again, it's one of those which is quite stable on its own.
That is pretty much standing up by itself. Good for creating volume and pleats, drama.
Yes. I'm imagining some kind of strapless bodiced gown,
or an off-the-shoulder sort of big collar type thing.
It would be beautiful.
Off the shoulder.
I'm sure we've all worn something in, all the bridal things and bridesmaids' dresses. There's bound to have been something you've worn that's been in a similar fabric to this.
Yes, exactly. Now what we are going to be doing when we get to the synthetics video, we will be showing you a lot of synthetic variations of these fabrics. So if you don't want to spend £30 a metre on a lovely fancy silk fabric, there will be synthetic variations that move very similarly and can be used for exactly the same purpose, but with a very much smaller price tag. Whereas if you're looking for luxury, then this is what to go for. Don't be scared of them. I mean, obviously if you're spending a lot of money on your fabric, then you want to make sure you've picked the right pattern, that you've done all your research, that you've checked and double checked your measurements, and that you're very careful in the way that you cut and sew and handle the fabric, because you want to have a beautiful garment at the end of it, but it still sews in the same way. You just have to be a little bit braver, because you've got constantly in the back of your mind how much you spent on it.
As long as you're not a complete beginner, I think anyone who's got any sewing experience, this would sew just like cotton. It's not stretching, it's not
very simple
slipping off the table, anything like that. It's just, I think we just need to not be put off by the price tag and by the special quality of it. Why not make yourself something fantastic?
Treat yourself.
Why not?
Treat yourself. So if you'd like to find out more about silk fabric, if you go onto Minerva's website, all of their fabrics have subcategories, and if you click on the silk category, you'll see everything that they have in. You can actually, in their descriptions, there's a lot of useful information about the weight of the fabric. So if you're not sure, then look for whether it says light, medium or heavy. And also they do give you some great descriptions that give you examples of what each of those fabrics could be used for. So if nothing else, you will have a general guide as to whether it would be suited for blouses, trousers, shirts, skirts, dresses, that sort of thing.
Fantastic.
And if you've got any other questions outside of that, then please do message us below. Clearly we are not silk experts. It is probably the fabric that we're least familiar with, but we're hoping to be more so very soon.
I want to be in a few years' time, be a silk experts.
So we hope you've enjoyed this video on silks. Tune in for the next instalment where we'll be talking to you all about wools. Bye guys.